my pure, sweet Dismal Minus, my my wonderfully full retard Dismal Minus. You've done it again. You've done it again. I'm wearing my She-Hulk polo in honour, because when you think, I thought She-Hulk will remain unsurpassed for a long while. I thought it'd be a long while before new legends, new televisual legends would be created. We didn't have to wait that long. I haven't even with Christmas, I haven't even expanded out of this top. So I'm wearing it in honour, because I tell you what, if you haven't watched it yet, I don't know why. If you haven't watched it yet, I don't know why you'd be watching my review of episode 5. Oh, just join me after the scroll. Bonjour. So, episode 4 ends with these creatures threatening to that you hear them saying, "Get the girl, kill them all." Right. Episode 5 starts dramatically with chases. So we don't know how they've got down the mountain. We haven't seen any of that. Not that we need to. But it starts with, which is pretty good, right in the thick of it. Everyone's being chased by the big giant geezer with like the Mad Max cage over his head. You know, it reminded me of something out of the third one with Tina Turner. I'm sure there's a character in that it reminds me of, with the cage over, and they're trying to make them look menacing and all that. These two creatures sent by whoever is, you know, they're going grrr and they're chasing them. And they're just about getting them, and then they're running away, and you know that Dismal do. They're so well done, these chase scenes now. Dismal are really getting in their stride. See what I did there? You've got this big monster with a big cage on his head, and he's going grrr. And you've got a couple of the characters running away. Then you've got this other one. The makeup is really good. Like, it's really good. In any other realm of entertainment, it would set up a bit of a threat. But you know what's gonna. Anyway, so it starts with a chase scene, the feet on the crunching, leaves and all that. Oh my God. And then the two girls, and they look up, and the big geezer's there, and he goes, and he jumps, and they run away, and oh my God. And I'm thinking, right, at some point, they're going to have to fight and, use, like, get together and gang up on one of them. Because there's only 2 of them, chasing 6 of them. Anyway, somehow, they all meet up, because I don't know how they all split up, because we don't see that. Because this programme, they've decided not to show us anything. They're going to talk about it. They're going to tell us about it after, at the next little meeting, which they do. And they all meet behind this log. So suddenly, you've got a big geezer. He isn't 2 or 3 seconds away. And the other creature they are on top of them. And then suddenly, all 6 of them, they all hide behind a log. We haven't seen Willow yet, but here he is. He comes waddling round the fucking end of the log. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't swear. He comes round and they're all there, and they have a chat. And while this chase scene is going on in this fantasy realm, in this realm of yore, whatever atmosphere or environment you're trying to create as the creators of the show, they play this kind of new wave rock punk track over it. as they're running, as if like, that's cool and funky, man. Yeah, that's gonna subvert expectations, man. We're gonna have them. But the chase comes to a halt while they sit down behind a log, hiding from the two creatures, and talk about the woods, the wild wood. Willow tells us the story and the peril of the wild. We can't go in there because that's the wild woods. Bad things happen. The water tastes bad. Well, I reckon the people that created this show came out of that wild wood, because they must have drunk the water, they must have been eating the leaves, they must have been drying out, smoking them leaves to write this shit. To write this shit. A lot of them come out of the wild woods, I tell you. The perils of the wild woods. So then suddenly, once they've established the chat, told us about the wild woods, and told us a few other bits, and had a nice little chat, spoke about their feelings a little bit more, because we need to know, don't we? We need to know. They can't show us how they're feeling. They need to tell us. Suddenly, the two antagonists appear. Oh my God! And they panic, and they run into the wildwood. They're desperate now. They're desperate, but they just told us how desperate you'd have to be to run in the wildwood. And, oh listen, I don't want to be horrible, but the six of them running towards the wildwood, the big long-haired guy with a beard, like the Asian fella, he could have taken, like, I'm 6'4", and I think he's even taller in real life, right? So you've got a character that tall and lanky. I think they even call him the Beanpole or something in this episode or in another one. But they're all running at the same pace as Warwick Davis. Now, I know I shouldn't laugh. All right, I'm horrible. All right, I'm horrible. But please, it doesn't make any sense, does it? If he used a little bit of magic to levitate himself and do that, we're in a fantasy program, by the way, and he's supposed to be a magician, a wizard, mind you. And, but no, everyone else has got to run so they can do a shot of them running into the perilous wildwoods. They've all got to run at the same pace as Warwick Waddles. Oh no. Anyway, they disappear into the perilous wild woods, and the two evil characters, the two bad guys, or the bad guy and a bad girl, and they stop at the woods. Now, I know it might be making a point, but I'm thinking, aren't you part of the evil that they've been talking about for 4 episodes? You're part of it. In whatever planetary fantasy evil is going on, you're part of it. That's your territory. You should be thinking, we've got no qualms following him in there because we know all the way around. Now, I've spent nearly 10 minutes talking about the first 5. With the punk music going on, and peril of wild woods. And so they get in the woods, but instead of thinking, oh, we'd better get out of here quick, like, they aren't following us, so why don't we just go along that way a mile and get out of these perilous wild woods as quick as we can? They stop and sit down for a chat again. So we've had a chase to punk rock music, new wave punk, 5 minutes ago, and they stopped, the brakes are on, they sat down for a chat behind a log. Now they've gone into the perilous wildwoods, they haven't continued and made a plan and thought, right, we're in a perilous wildwood now. They sit down on top of a log to talk around a campfire. They just, no one's scared. They've just been building up the fact, Poor old Warwick, poor old Willow, he's been going, no, the perilous. Or, well, as Willow would say, the perilous wildwood. We must be afraid because bad things happened there once, and no one must ever enter. The water tastes bad. No one must smoke the leaf of the wildwood trees. And they continually discuss their feelings. They can't, surely to God, part of it, part of the job of acting is to emote, is to through the camera via the the art or craft or talent of acting, is to show when you're angry, when you're in love, when you're scared. Anyway, bone reavers turn up, and they're not even scared. They imprison them. Speckled Jesus gives it large. Oi, you, yeah. And this is a massive gang of bone reavers, but she ain't afraid. She ain't afraid. They just all give it large, arrogant. They just have all their heads chopped off. No, because it doesn't make sense. It's children. This is how children would imagine they would be. Like a child of a certain age that I don't know, the mental age of these creators. Because nothing, and I know it's a fantasy realm, but there are certain things that have got to make sense. But I know I just started getting a little bit angry then, a little bit annoyed, a little bit irritated. But do you know what? I kind of, I was going to say I pity them, but no, that's a bit patronising. But I'm just finding it funny. It's a novelty funny, but bear in mind this is 45 minutes where nothing happens. They show nothing. They talk. There's not even, so the scene where the bone reavers kind of like, so they're all sitting around on top of the log now. So we've done behind the log, now we're on top of the log. And suddenly, all the bad guys erupt out of the leaves and all that. All right, that's a dramatic scene. But how long was they there for? Like, there hasn't been enough time. Like, say for argument's sake, you see them running into the woods in the daytime, and then of an evening, they're thinking, oh, we're trapped here, we don't know where the other two guys that chased us in. You know, you can just establish something, and it's given the bone reavers enough time to hide themselves, or they've been moving around and they've plotted an ambush. But for some reason, the bone reavers are just under all the leaves and moss. And now, we got you. How long have they been there for? What do they just? Is that where they hide continually? It just doesn't. It just hurts your brain because it's so pathetic. It's not just a tiny plot hole. I'm not talking about tiny plot holes here, am I? It's a fundamental, stupid idea, which I go back again to the mental age of the people involved in this. And no one's scared, so they all get split up. Because Speckled Jesus was dissing her posse, she gets singled out. Oh, the bearded bloke, whatever his name, the beanpole, he gets told to send her to his tent because they've had a bit of something going on. Because, by the way, Speckled Jesus, straight away, there's another Speckled Jesus who is the chief of the bone reaver, and how she's established herself as the lead. You've got this big geezer, this big geezer, you know, and he talks like me as well, but like a really not really like that. Like as if oh no, was going to do really old stuff. No, I'm going to say it. So you remember Mike Reed in EastEnders, how he used to talk, and his normal voice would be a bit lower. Like mine's up high here, mine's up there. He was like, all right, Peg. You know what I mean? Well, he's gone down another level. This bone weaver. On the voice, but no one's scared. No one's scared. They'll get split up and put into their little prison camps, their little prison cell ideas. No, none of them were bothered about being murdered. They got skulls everywhere, and new like Chief Speckled Jesus has threatened to boil their skulls. Oh no, they're all right. They're still talking about their feelings. Willow is with the prince, and the prince is talking about his feelings to Willow. They've just been imprisoned. The princess woman is with Eleanor. Is it Eleanor? What's it? She's talking about her feelings. Eleanor wants to know about like who burnt the muffins. I think it's Eleanor, isn't it? Wants to know about the princess's feelings, and oh, you've got the hots for Speckled Jesus. You have. Let's all talk about her feelings. They've just been imprisoned by this gang in the perilous wild wood, and they're still talking about their feelings. There's nothing of consequence is shown in this episode. In 45 minutes, there's one roll around little fight between the two Speckled Jesuses so they can find out that they're related, they're sisters. Quelle surprise. Quelle surprise. Can't wait for the next series where there is more, to be fair. It'll be another series. So we saw the first one in Falcon and Winter Soldier. We've seen, now there's 2 of them in Willow. There'll be 3 of them in Mandalorian, I reckon. There'll be a whole entire planet. There'll be a whole alien race of them. They just don't show. So they all manage to escape in their all different ways. But there's no dramatic movement of any description in this. And I mean dramatic movement physically and verbally. So dramatic movement could be fighting their way out. Like they weren't even fighting off from these 2 creatures chasing them at the beginning. They were just running away. Now they're trying to escape, fair enough. But there's no obstacles in their way except for people standing in front of them. There's nothing. Talk about their feelings. Then they realise, so Speckled Jesus has the tussle, realises, now we realise all the Bone Reavers are nice people. And this is the best bit where I fell out of my wheelchair, my bag got disconnected. I tell you what, it was all going wrong, and it was the day that the ambulance drivers were on strike, so I didn't have any other option but to crawl back onto. They all take truth plums. Fucking truth plums. Oh, Dismal Minus, guys. Truth plums. And while, that's the other thing, before they have a truth plum or 2 in their mouth, when Willow and the prince are escaping, he goes, you hear all the drums going, because they've started a party now, because Speckled Jesus has found out her sister, like blah blah, so they're having a party. And they're breaking out the truth plums, right? But they're late. Willow and the prince, for some reason, don't know why they've been overlooked. And he goes, can you hear that? There's these tribal drums echoing around the woods. Can you hear that? Oh. And they're all having a party. They've all bang on the truth plums now, aren't they? They're all bang on the truth plums and they're breaking out the truth. And they're all dancing around, and it's a tribal party in a fantasy show. And they're playing modern music again. They've overlaid it. They haven't just kind of created like a thematically in music, a drum-based music that they could play with drums and flutes and something created out of wood because they're in the middle of a. Oh, I'm not going to keep effing. But they're in the middle of the woods, so why can't you have these instruments? But yes, oh no, they've got to play. You know, I'm surprised they didn't just have a scene with a DJ in the corner between two trees, and he's set up his decks and he's on the ones and twos because they break out the modern music, and oh my god, and obviously they think it's so. They think it creates so much tension, waiting for the Princess Bird and Speckled Jesus to get it on. Oh my god, I can't wait. You know, the tension is palpable. I can feel the love, as Elton John once sung. No. It's just a shame. It's just a shame that no one at Dismal, at a board meeting on the top floor, can break out some of them truth plums and admit that the shit that they're making isn't doing very well at all. No one's watching Willow. No one. No, and that is fact. No one. If you believe that anything Dismal is saying about Willow, then you need a truth plum. I'm loving it. The truth plum. I'm loving it on a whole different level. I don't think I'm their audience. I don't know who Dismal's audience is, and I love it that this is a 16 plus. I love that this is a 16 plus. This is just 45 minutes of girls walking around talking about their feelings. I'm clearly not the audience. I'm clearly not the audience. I've got to admit, I don't think I would like any of my children watching teenage girls sucking on truth plums. But we don't go there. I'm not going to go there. Anyway, they all tell the truth to each other, and the two girls at the end that we know are going to get it on, they got the hots to each other, or I don't know. As soon as they do, and the tension's building again, oh my god, they're finally going to kiss in episode 5. Gets whoosh. And then all you can hear is this whoosh, whoosh. The party's broken up. She's gone up, and you see like a little blurry kind of Yeti type character, and then one's going here, one's going there, and then you see a body on the floor, an old beanpole. Again, there's no fight, there's no battle. He's already on the floor, and he's waving his sword around for 20 seconds, and then goes off camera to kill, and then he looks up and he goes, trolls. End of episode. Now, I don't know, I'm thinking now, those dirty bone reavers have stolen the trolls' truth plums, and they want them back. You are not going to get away with sucking on a troll's truth plum and not face any consequences. And on that note, I'm going to bid you adios.